When I was going through my recovery, I wish I had somebody who could explain to me everything that was going on in my mind, which was keeping this going, and what I needed to do to recover. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do in this video for you. My anxiety and DPDR at its lowest point got pretty bad, almost to the point where I couldn't really function properly. Like I could still sort of do stuff, but I was constantly fighting this need to panic and freak out. I had constant anxiety and constant disconnect. And I too, like you're probably doing right now, I'd look around at other people and go, I just wish I could be you. I wish you look just so happy and carefree right now. I wish I could just have a normal life where I don't have to think about this stupid freaking anxiety. I don't have to be scared. I don't have to try and change all this stuff. I just want to be normal again. And like you as well, I did a lot of research. I spent thousands of dollars on things which I thought were going to help me. I saw a hypnotherapist, I got therapy, I read books. If you name it, I've probably done it. I've literally tried everything and nothing really seemed to work for me. And that was the most frustrating thing. And what I thought as well with my sort of anxiety, what I was going through, I was thinking, well, what if mine is actually different? Because all the stories I've read about, oh, I had weed and then I fell into it. Oh, I had a panic attack and then I fell into it. I'm like, none of that actually happened to me. So what did I actually do to recover? Well, the first thing I did is I stopped asking myself, why? Why has this happened to me? Why can't I just recover? Why do other people recover with this other thing, but it's not working for me? That's very much a victim mentality. And you might feel like a victim, but the thing with a victim mentality is it's not going to get you anywhere at all. All you're going to do is sit around and wallow in your own self-pity. And I know because I've done that as well. You've got to step up and you've got to step out of this victim mentality. And the way that you do that is you start to take ownership about what's happened. And the way that you can do that is by saying, okay, my life is like this right now. I know that I want it to get better, but I'm not better at the moment. Like, what am I going to do about this right now? I can wish and want for all time for this to be gone. But until I actually start, really diving deep about what's actually going on with me and I get rid of this victim mentality and I'm responsible for my life, then that's what's gonna get me to this. And on top of that, sort of like a little bit of a nice cherry on top of the cake that I gave myself is I said to myself, look, Dan, if I'm living the best life that I want, if I'm living a life that I want to live, my sort of dream life or close enough to it, it's impossible to have that life and have this at the same time. So step number one is you've got to take responsibility for where you are right now. I know there's probably a lot of external factors that have come into this, but as sort of difficult as it is to hear, everything you've done in your life and all the things that you've been thinking and doing and everything like that has led you to where you are right now. But as I say, that's an incredibly powerful thing because it means that you have the power to change things to get you out of it, to get you to that life that you do want. It doesn't matter how you fall into DPDR. I fell into it via stress and my nervous system, my mind completely freaked out and checked out. And then all of a sudden, everything was scary and horrible. So what I had to do is I had to learn, well, what am I actually thinking right now? What am I choosing to believe right now? Is that thing that I just thought actually true? Or is it just some stupid rule that I've made up in my head and I'm believing it? I'm making it true even though it isn't true. And all the time when I'm helping people go through their recovery, it happens to everybody. It's probably happening to you right now. You might be sitting there thinking, oh yeah, okay, well, it sounds good, but it's not going to work for me. Look, I'm not diminishing what you're going through, but what I'm saying is that's a load of bullcrap. What you're thinking right there is just anxiety talking, and you have a choice. You can believe it or you can challenge it. So that's a very big step, is to understand what actually is anxiety and what is sort of normal you. So naturally, the way that you see the world and the way that you think is going to be heavily biased towards negativity and anxiety. And the way that you break that bias and train your brain back to not just thinking positive, but seeing everything realistically, is to recognize what you're doing, recognize what you're thinking, why are you thinking that, what are you doing, why are you doing that, and challenging the bad stuff and developing and expanding upon the good stuff. And then that's going to train your mind to become unbiased. And slowly over time, I got back control, I got back hope, and I could see a clearer vision for the future. And my symptoms did just diminish. They didn't diminish because I was trying to diminish them. They diminished because all of the anxiety was lifting through all of this work that I was doing. And what actually sort of did work for me was coaching. You know, I got coaching, and that's why I trained to be a coach, and that's why I coach people now, because sometimes you need something that's different. For some people, traditional therapy does work. For other people, they read a book and it works, you know, but sometimes you've just got to sort of, it's almost like process of elimination. You know, maybe you've got to try these things to figure out that they don't work for you, and then you've got to try something else. And that's what happened with me, and maybe that's what's happening with you as well. So look, if you want to know more about coaching, if you want to know how it's different to therapy and psychology, and what actually happens in it, and how you can get to that point of recovery, then, you know, we can have a chat. Let's have a chat about it. And I'd love to hear your story and tell you about what you can do to start getting out of that right now. And if you are interested in having a chat with me, it's completely free. There's no obligations or anything like that. Then all you got to do is book a call. The link for that is in a pinned comment in the description. So if you do want to feel calmer, if you do want to recover from anxiety and from DPDR, and recover from all the other symptoms, and just be calm and relaxed and getting on with your life and just worrying about the normal life stuff, then book a call with me. I'd love to chat with you. So until next time, I'll see you in the next vid. Bye.